Welcome to today's Woman in Power call. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready for the meditation. Close out all distractions. Don't do this if you're driving. Come back to it. But just go ahead right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Calling on the guidance of your higher power. Getting in connection to yourself, coming home to yourself. Knowing that you are worthy. Today's theme, the energy, the dynamic is around module 3 and module 4. It's around your sacred no, and it's around knowing your worth. That is what this work is about. It's about learning to love yourself, because if you truly love yourself, you will respect yourself and you will not allow anybody else to disrespect you. You won't tolerate it anymore. You won't be available for it anymore. A lot of work I like to help people with is feminine energetics. As a planet, we're very good at masculine energetics. There's a problem, we fix it, we do it, we try. But it's also not working. We get exhausted and we get burned out. And there's a limited capacity with masculine energetics. When it comes to feminine energetics, it's thoughts, it's feelings, it's trust, it's flow. We want to really get the feminine energetics clear before going into the masculine. And so something we're going to be working on today's call and moving forward is really sourcing your own love and worth and beauty. Tapping into your feminine energy on your own. Creating high levels of it. Not needing that validation, that approval, that love to come from a man. When a man loves you and approves of you and says how beautiful you are and takes you out, that's all a cherry on top. But it's got to come from within you. When we can source it within ourselves, that's when we're in our magnetism. That's when we're a powerful, powerful magnet for the right kind of men, but really for all sorts of men. That's why your sacred no is going to be so important. You will attract in a lot of people, but it's going to be up to you to be discerning of what it is you really want. So go ahead, take a deep breath in, let it go. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Let's change the view here. So we've all gone through rejection. We've all either been cheated on, we've been left, we haven't been first pick. That is something that we all have in common as women and as humans. And so in the first 2 modules, that's where you really start to heal any story where you took it personally. But in the later 2 modules, where you really start to say no, and you start to enhance your worth, that's where you stop being a match to people who don't see your worth. And so what we're going to do right now is I want to tap into helping you come home to yourself and know your worth a little bit deeper. I want to share what are some of the things that make you really feel in love and make you feel really beautiful. There's also neurotransmitters and chemicals and hormones that go off in our body. And so this is why a lot of us fall for the love bombing phase when we're dealing with narcissistic and psychopathic people. The reason being is because when we meet somebody new, if we're not really sourcing our own love and creating these neurotransmitters and hormones to go off in a healthy way within ourselves, that's when it feels like a hit of ecstasy. It feels electrifying when you meet a new person. You might even say, I've never felt this way before with anybody. I've had so many clients say this multiple times with a new person. I've had friends say this. I've said it myself. Because the reason being is when you come into contact with somebody new and you're not creating those feelings, it does feel like you haven't felt that before. or you haven't felt that in a really long time. So what I want to help empower you all with as being a woman in power is sourcing your own love and feelings and having the oxytocin, the serotonin, the dopamine go off within yourself. When you can get really good at this, when you start to meet new people, even if it's not romantic relationships, you don't get so attached and addicted to them. You don't fall for the love bombing. You stay centered, you stay grounded, and you stay discerning. That's when you're really in your power. So I'd love if one of you wants to share, what is it that makes you release that oxytocin, that serotonin, that dopamine? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel beautiful? Sometimes it's going on a walk. It's sitting by the pool. It's getting your nails done. It's having a spa day. It's having that time to read without anywhere to go. We all have different things. And this is why a lot of my work, it's around coming home to yourself. So finding what ticks. So what ticks for me, what makes me feel most active and vibrant and alive could be totally different than you. So I could be giving you advice of all the things that I do to make me feel alive and in love, but that might not be what you need to do to feel alive and in love. So I want to give you all a moment right now to really tap back in. This is going to make you so powerful, not just when meeting a partner, but this is how you're going to keep that magnetism and attraction alive with your partner. Most people don't master this part. Have you noticed once the guy gets you and they were doing all these things in the beginning and then they stop and they don't seem as attracted to you? This is one of the reasons why. We don't know how to hold our own magnetism and attraction within ourselves. So whoever would like to go first, I would love to hear what makes you tick, what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel beautiful. Even if you haven't been doing these things in a while, I want to help get you into the habit of creating and sourcing these feelings within yourself. So Natalie, do you want to share?
So not so much about making me feel beautiful, because that isn't something that I've kind of ever sort of felt, other than when I was being love bombed by the ex. But recently I did, my friend had a hen party because she's getting married, and she organised like a little yoga and afternoon tea. So I think there was about 10 or 12 women. They were friends and family of hers. And I was invited along. And for the first time in years, I used to love yoga. Actually, I'm a yoga teacher. But I hadn't done it for the majority of the time that I was with my ex. But I remember being in there thinking, I freaking love this. My brain said a swear word, which I'm not going to repeat. But I was like, I really love this. And I should do more of it. And that kind of gave me like a real rush. And I thought, I'm gonna try and get back into it and that kind of thing. So that's, sorry, my dog's just jumped up. That's something that's happened quite recently, and it did make me think, I'd really like to sort of try and get back to doing those sorts of things.
Perfect. That sounds beautiful. That sounds wonderful, especially you have passion towards it. You're a yoga teacher. And so what you said was really key. What we want to look at is when you were with your ex, you weren't really doing it. You noticed that, right? This is what we
Yeah.
do as women, especially. We usually get into a relationship. Usually we are doing yoga or doing whatever it was. We get into the relationship and then they seem to not be as attracted to us, or we don't seem as happy. It's because we stopped doing the things that we were doing to even be that magnetic, beautiful version of ourselves that attracted them to us in the first place. So as we can really master this and hold the energy while in the relationship, watch how your guy, the right guy for you, he is continuously going to be attracted to you. He's going to continuously desire you, but they're always responding to us. That's what the first module is all about. It's our power. And so a lot of us, we're not taught this. We don't know this. We don't do this. But a lot of us, we let all of our hobbies, whatever we're doing, fall to the wayside once we get into a relationship because all of those initial feelings. So Natalie, I would say that would be your commitment. And especially with feeling beautiful, what do you need to do to feel beautiful in your eyes? Not just society's eyes per se, but what makes you, because beauty is, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? It's so subjective. What do you need to do to believe that you're beautiful in your own unique way?
It isn't something that I've ever, it's one of those things where I've kind of been brought up to feel that it's not a nice trait to think that. So it's really hard for me to get out of that. But uh, you know, one thing that used to make me really happy was helping other people. So volunteering, I helped at a children's hospice and things like, you know, little things like that. And actually more recently, I suppose I've been looking after, you know, school kids for a couple of days at a time, you know, in addition to my job, and really enjoying that. So, you know, those kind of things where I'm, I suppose, in service, like doing stuff for other people,
Yes.
they make me happy, and they make me feel nice about myself. Not beautiful, but not, you know, like I'm helping or doing something of value.
Yeah. So good. What I see for you when you are in your magnetism is the energy of joy. So joy and happiness is your version of being beautiful and being alive. So instead of thinking it of a vanity of looking beautiful, if I were in your shoes, I would be really stepping into how can I feel most happy, most in service, most alive. I wouldn't be thinking of it physically, outwardly. I would be creating an internal. Watch how then your physical will totally change. As you're experiencing health and vitality within you, you're gonna glow, you are gonna radiate, you're gonna want to take better care of yourself. Everything's gonna naturally unfold from you putting happiness and service at the forefront and root of everything that you do, okay? Really good.
Okay,
Yes, that is
thank
your key
you.
joy. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and take a deep breath in. Let it go. We all have unique key codes. We all have unique frequencies. We all have unique things that we are craving. A lot of times, if you're craving alcohol, you're craving love, you're craving marijuana, you're craving joy, you're craving bliss. When we're craving sugar, we want joy. We want to feel whatever. We all are wanting certain things, certain feelings. And so it's important to ask yourself and start getting curious, what is it that you need? Do you need more love? Do you need to be soothed, nurtured, nourished? Here's something I've noticed with myself and working with so many women over the past few years. Whatever it is that we're wanting from a man, or we think we will get once we're with a man, or our man starts acting right, it's our job actually to give that to ourselves. That's when we're in our highest energy and our highest frequency. So right now I want whoever wants to be honest and open and vulnerable. If you're wanting a man, you want a new man, what is it that you think that that would provide for you? If you were to meet somebody, say you want to meet somebody in the next 3 months, why do you want to meet somebody in the next 3 months? What are you hoping to experience in your next new relationship or with your soulmate or your dream relationship? And if you're not the one actually speaking, just think to yourself, do your best to listen, but also filter through what is it you think that you're wanting that will actually provide a lot of information that we can all use. So Scarlett, Miriam, if either of you want to share, whether it's with a current partner or a future, what is it that you're wanting or thinking that you're wanting?
Hello.
Beauty.
Hi. Um, so, okay. I was still thinking about the things that make me feel beautiful and how I cultivate magnetism and attraction within me. And I feel like um, along the same lines, like when I'm ready to call in my next partner, Um, I would like to be with someone that has common interests and values, um, and virtues, and also someone that um, wants to be of service in the community somehow, wants to be, you know, doing things that I like to do as well, like going to events and ecstatic dance, and someone that wants to travel and enjoy life, celebrate life together. Someone that really wants a partnership, you know, perhaps to get creative with and build something with, such as like some sort of business or way to be of service to others.
Mhm.
Someone that is honorable and honest, um, and has done some inner work. Someone that is like on a spiritual path or self-development, personal growth path is important to me, and someone that is kind and understands attachment styles. Somebody that is secure attachment, preferably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone that I feel safe with, and my nervous system can feel at peace and relaxed. I don't have to worry about lies and manipulation and cheating and all of those things. So yeah, someone that is that meets me, or that, you know, is has done some work on themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, all of those things, but really, you know, someone that is an equal, and um, can also help me rise into my fullest version of myself, you know. So those things, and yeah, I
Perfect.
don't know if I'm there yet, though. I feel like I definitely want to take some time to myself during this healing process, and really, you know, I feel like, you know, if someone shows up that is a match, I would take things very, very, very slow and be open. You know, I want to keep an open heart, an open mind, but I do feel like I'm definitely in a process right now. So
Ah,
give
yeah.
myself some time to cultivate more strength and more power.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well, such good information, and your energy is really clear, which is really, really good. So that's perfect. Feels a whole lot clearer now that you've been no contact for some time. So that's really good. It's open, it's available. What I would say for you is all of these things that you are really wanting, that you're tapping into, that you feel really clear on, is going to be so important that you are so clear and cultivating this within yourself, because that's how you're going to know if you feel like such a match to somebody else. For example, if you can create that safety, that security, that peace within yourself, if you can be honest with yourself and committed to your word and being really loyal with yourself, then when somebody comes into your life at the divine timing, you will know if they're adding and contributing to your peace, or if they are taking you away from your peace. Most people never even get to the point where they can feel this inner peace and love within themselves. So it's really hard for them, and they get swept off their feet. And that's when they get themselves stuck in the cycle over and over and over again. So your job, I would say right now, is creating and cultivating, using that information that you just shared to create this relationship with yourself. That is the work right now. And as far as the taking time for yourself and waiting, sometimes we also want to leave room for the universe, for God to really work, and really trust God's divine timing of this all. I've seen this happen with a lot of my clients, especially after getting out of a situation. They feel, okay, I want a lot of time, I want a lot of time, or I want a year. But then what happens is they either meet somebody or they get back with that person. And then it can create this this disconnect because we then aren't our word. So sometimes I like to step into, and I've helped a lot of clients with just trusting in the divine timing and letting it unfold. Like the universe, God knows when is going to be the best timing for you, better than you can even know of when to bring that person in. But it can help to not focus on bringing that person in and just to focus on creating and cultivating the deepest, greatest, best love story with yourself. Being a match energy, that's what I love. We're going to talk into this. So this is actually perfect. This came up. It's creating a bigger vision for yourself without needing these time limits or by when. A lot of people, when we're learning goal setting or manifestation. A lot of times it's like, I want $10,000 in 1 month, or I want this by this date. And then it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We feel disappointed. We feel we're behind. We feel it should have happened by now. And it's not making us that energetic match to the thing that it is what we even want it for. So what I like to do is look at it different. It's just, I'm becoming more of a match to more love. I'm becoming more of a match to more joy, more peace, more fulfillment. I'm becoming a match to more freedom, more joy, more whatever it is, instead of, I want this relationship, I want it by then, I want that, as we can see for most of us, especially as empathetic kind of people, visionary kind of people, it puts a lot of restraint and it takes us further from what we want. So Scarlett, everything that you said was so beautiful. It's so profound that you can go deep into your desires. But I would really be going home into yourself and creating just the most beautiful, again, love story within yourself and watch it all unfold in the beyond the most beautiful timing. And again, our king finds us. The king comes to the queen. And so it's your job just being the queen. The king will find you. The right man will find you in the right timing when you're ready and when your higher power knows you're ready too.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
And no,
Yes.
I don't, yeah, the king will show up and he won't just be pretending to be the king and wearing the king's clothes. He'll be the actual king.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that you said that because a lot of times we will attract jokers dressed up like the king, right?
Yeah.
We will fall for that. But we fall for that when we're not super sturdy in module 4 of this work, really knowing your worth, knowing who you are. You won't need that hit of ecstasy when somebody new comes into your life. When you don't need that hit of ecstasy because you're creating and sourcing your own love, you will be discerning, is this a joker or is this a king?
Right.
Is this a knight? No, no, no. I want the king. But we won't know that until we are the queen. So our job is being in the queen energy. We're connected to our higher power. We're respecting ourselves. We can say no. We learn how to set boundaries. We learn how to have difficult conversations. We're okay with somebody not liking us in order to honor ourselves. We're not afraid of being perceived as selfish or bitchy or whatever we used to be afraid of. We are now secure within ourselves. And when we're secure within ourselves, we will take our time. We don't need to rush in the new relationship. We don't need to be at that next level. We allow ourselves to be the chooser and to make more empowering and more wise decisions. But that only happens when we know who we are and we know whose we are. Okay? So perfect. Let's go ahead and close our eyes, take a deep breath in and reset. Let it go. All right. I want you all to think of a time where you were newly and freshly in love. Whether it was with your previous partner, whether it was in high school, whether it was in middle school, college, 10 years ago, 2 months ago, I want you to tap back in to the last time you really felt those butterflies, those feelings of feeling in love. Even if it didn't turn out the way that you wanted and it maybe ended up being disaster. But can you tap into the initial stages where you were really excited, you were really hopeful? Can you all think of a memory? Can you think of a time? What's important here is to realize you're the one who's feeling sensations in your body. You were the one who felt hope. You felt butterflies. You felt excited. So what happens and why we a lot of times attract in narcissistic or unhealthy people, it's not that we're stupid. It's not that we fell for it again. The problem is that the sensations, the feelings took over our body and then we got hooked. So we also then associated those feelings that feel amazing, right? That feelings of the initial stages of falling in love, that feels amazing, best feeling on the planet. The problem is we associated it with a person and we created them to be our source of why we felt that way. So that's when we start to get attached and hooked in and move really fast, usually with a narcissist. We meet this person, we feel these amazing feelings. It must be because of them. We're a match. I want to be with you. Right? Like Scarlett was saying, she wants secure attachment. She doesn't want that anxious attachment. She doesn't want that avoidant attachment. She wants secure attachment. Secure attachment comes when two secure people come together. When we're secure in our love and our worth, we meet somebody else who's secure in our love and our worth. So what I want to help us all see is that those feelings you felt when you were in love, they were feelings going on in your body. They were just amplified, activated when you were in that person's presence. But the thing is, we can start activating and amplifying them without needing them to come from somebody else. That's the whole theme of this call. This is where you're so in your power. This is where you create your security. When you know how to elicit these feelings, those feelings of bliss and joy and love, excitement and hope within yourself, why would you need to get attached to somebody? It's a joy when you can meet somebody, right? That's the sweet spot. It's a joy when you can create these feelings. You meet somebody else you feel those feelings still with. It's like, okay, cool, we vibe. And if this goes somewhere, great. And if it doesn't go somewhere, that's okay too. It might be a little disappointing, but at the end of the day, I know I can create these feelings. The reason a lot of us have gotten sucked into narcissistic relationships is because once that person discards us or stops showing all that love and affection, we think the love and affection has gone away and we don't know how to get it back. And so we're begging for their love and their attention and for them to choose us again or go back to how it was in the beginning. That's the old paradigm. That's the old pattern. So it's our job to make a commitment that no matter what, we are going to create and source that own love within ourselves, even once you're in that relationship. So for example, if Natalie, you're doing yoga and you meet somebody amazing and you feel incredible and you're going to want to start hanging out with this person more and they want to see you, they want to go to coffee, they want to go to dinner, they want to hang out. Your commitment, for example, would be that no matter what, you're still doing your yoga. Even if you really want to hang out with this person, it would be you sticking with your commitment and choosing yourself. I use this example. I learned it in rapid resolution therapy and it really helped me. A man never fully has you. They never fully get to have you. So I like to compare it. I learned it like a dolphin, right? You don't catch dolphins unless you're like a sick person, right? Like dolphins aren't meant to be caught. You can swim with the dolphins. You can admire the dolphins. You can have great memories with the dolphins, but you're not hooking them. You're not catching them. You're not eating them. That's how you also are as a beautiful woman. A man gets to swim with you. He gets to court you. He gets to take you out. He gets to spend time with you, but he never can fully catch you or trap you or have you. And when we're in narcissistic relationships, it's the opposite. It's like we're the little fish. They catch you, they reel you in, they eat you, they discard you, they throw you back, they put you on the wall, but they're not loving you. They're not admiring you. They're not desiring you. They're not just happy to be in your company. So I like to feel as if I'm the dolphin or I'm the mermaid. We spend beautiful time together. We respect each other, but we're never trapped. We're never stuck. We're never hooked. So the beautiful thing is how you can keep that magnetism alive when you're with a man is knowing he never gets to fully catch you. It's not playing games. But as a man too, it's in their biology to want to desire. They like that actually. Men are naturally hunters. So some people think it's game playing or that's playing hard to get. It's not. The difference is that you're staying in your magnetism and your joy and your beauty. You get to continue doing those things that you love and that make you tick, that bring out your greatest expression. So for Natalie, I know it's joy. So for Scarlett, I feel like a lot of it is love. Miriam, it will be, what do you feel like is where you're at your most, that this will be the great opening for you, is what feeling, what energy, what way of being do you feel like you are in your highest expression? For some people, it's beauty. We all have different ones. We all have multiple, but some it's like more than others. Like Natalie, it's so clear it's joy for you. Like Scarlett, I feel like it's love. But Miriam, I'd love to hear in your own words, what do you feel like it is, the feeling that makes you feel most alive, and then the things you need to be doing in order to keep that feeling alive. So in your next relationship, you can stick to that even once they have you. They never fully get to capture it because you're going to stay committed to that. So let's just see in your own words what's coming up.
I think for me, it's serving, like serving others, helping others, volunteering, makes me the most happy and fulfilled. So
Okay.
in my future, I want somebody like that. I want somebody that, wants to serve, wants to volunteer and gets fulfilled from that, making somebody else happy that's maybe less fortunate, or
Yeah.
just, spreading God's word and doing it together. I am very passionate about that. And I've never had anybody like that in my life that wanted to join me with that. It's always been a pull. I was always dragging them there, and it didn't work, and so I think that is what I'm starting to learn about myself, being alone now and just really focusing on myself, is that I have a servant heart and I want somebody to match me in that energy.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, beautiful. A few things coming up on that. The key, it sounds like for you, is happiness and fulfillment. So then whatever vehicle you drive, whatever it takes to get there is it's more important, the destination of happy and fulfilled. So the way you do it might be a little bit different, but at the root, I would be stepping into, is happiness and fulfillment at the forefront of my decisions and my action steps, because that's what really matters and that's what really makes me tick. So service work, for example, is a way that you feel happy and fulfilled. But it seems like for you to feel most at home, you have to focus on happiness and fulfillment. And then the other part coming up is that, okay, you've never had this yet, so you don't fully know exactly what it feels like, especially with a man. What I would start to do is I would be really doing this with girlfriends.
Yeah.
Being in the energy of somebody else is with you, because that's the whole point. We want somebody else with us doing this. We want to be in it together. We want to feel like a team. We want to build something. We want to just have that companionship. Just even being in that energy, that dynamic, that's what really also creates that space, that room for somebody who's going to match it so you can get used to it. So this will go into another key point. We want to start getting used to doing and feeling a certain way we would feel if we were already in the relationship, because this is what a lot of women do too. Men do it too, but we're talking about women. We aren't used to something, we attract in somebody, and we then can lean to so far the other side because it feels so different and new. A lot of times we will then procrastinate, or we will self-sabotage, or we will run from it. So what I've always liked to help my clients with is, for example, if if right now your evenings are always full, but you're calling in a partner eventually, and you would want to have your evenings with your partner, you would want to cook dinner, or you'd want to watch a show, or you'd want to go on a walk. It's a shock to the nervous system when the new partner comes in, and then you got to change your whole schedule, your whole dynamics. You got to get used to then having the evenings open. So what I like to have my clients do is ease into it. If you know that that's something you would want to be doing with a partner, it doesn't mean every night just leaving it open, but start getting used to having that space to do what you would want to be doing with a partner. I've noticed that helps so much. So you don't create these big shocks or big differences in your energetic field once you attract in whatever it is that you're calling in, partner or not. We want to start creating the space and the room. That's the whole acting as if. And then we don't get, that's what happened. A lot of people, right? Like Natalie said, she stopped doing yoga. That's what people do. They get in the new relationship, they teeter too far with the new relationship, they stop doing all the things, and then they wonder, where'd the magnetism go? Why isn't he attracted to me anymore? So I would say that's what I would be working on, is just happiness and fulfillment at the forefront of everything. Is there anything else you can think of right now that really makes you feel happy and makes you feel fulfilled?
I think like just being successful in what I do. So like whether that's in my career or just anything that puts me outside of my home as a mom, I guess.
Okay.
I'm really trying to find myself again because I feel like the last 12 years, or since I have 3 kids, so I feel like I've been in that mom role for
Yeah.
so long, and now they're older, and I feel like I need to find who am I, because they're about to, one's going to be going to college soon, and the other one just has 3 more years, and it's like I need to find myself again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you're here. It's all around coming home to you. It's discovering now what really does make you feel happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, what do you not like? That's equally as important. What are the things that maybe you used to do to make somebody happy, but they really aren't in alignment with you? So this is a season of really discovering who you are at this moment in time.
Right. And I started attending a women's group once a month.
Good.
So I did that this month, and then they skipped July, and so I'm gonna get involved and be a part of it.
Yes.
That's gonna start in August, and I just recently finished a loan officer class, so I'm gonna get certified to be a loan officer. And
Wow.
yeah, so I'm just kind of like opening up different doors that I haven't been through.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That is the key. You are doing it. Like you're full on in module 4 kind of work. Like your work is where you're at. And so what I would say for you is the biggest key will be really utilizing your sacred no
mhm,
to really honor yourself and to not go down a rabbit hole of old patterns or old kind of behaviors. And I actually am wondering if you can tap back into your previous 2 relationships. Where do you feel like it took a turn? Like you obviously felt in love or happy or something in the beginning. Can you notice a common pattern or a common thread of either where it took a turn or maybe an insecurity that came up? We want to start to just be detectives of our own patterns so that we obviously don't keep repeating them. So I want to see if there's any common thread of where it might have shifted, or if there was an insecurity that came up based on their behavior changing.
yeah, I think I'm a giver, so I just give, hoping that their behavior is going to change to
Yeah.
and it never happens. And
Yeah.
so I have recognized that in myself. Like I could do all the good things, but it doesn't mean that somebody is going to change their behavior. Like they are who they are no matter what. And so then I just let them cross tons of boundaries.
Mhm.
I don't say no, and I don't put my foot down because I don't want to make waves. And so I am learning that about myself, that I need to be very secure with me, and I am a good person. And a lot of times they would make me feel like all the good things that I've done, no, you're still a bad person. You still have this, you still do this. And now looking back, I'm like, no, that's not what it was at all. It was, I was doing all the right things. It had me, it had to do with you.
Yeah.
And I need to be okay with that. I need to be okay with the fact and accepting. I've learned how to accept in the last few months
Yes.
and learn that it had nothing to do with me, that
Mhm.
they were and secretly hiding. And I'm still finding out things that it's just unimaginable and I just can't believe it. And I have to accept it and not dwell on it and pray about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I see so much in your future for you. And you're in a really powerful space, because if you can accept that it really wasn't you, which is what a lot of people, they never get to this point, you can then move forward in a much more powerful way, a much more confident way, where you honor your boundaries, you honor your values, you're not okay with being perceived as being a bad person. As that fear leaves you and subsides, you'll be able to speak up. You won't tolerate certain things. You won't be available for previous behaviors. And something coming up is you like to give. You even said you like to be in service, especially when it comes to men. Like the men before where you were giving, they weren't healthy. They were narcissistic, whatever, all those things. But when it comes to a healthy masculine man, the new man you're gonna start attracting, the new caliber, they want to mainly be the givers. And
Right.
so in that area, this is why it's perfect. This is coming up feminine energy, because feminine energy is receiving. Even biology, right? It's like designed like men give, like women receive. There's a beautiful dance. We're never just fully receiving, fully, but as feminine women, we want to let the man come to us.
Mhm.
And so I could see that being a shift with the new kind of man you're going to be, really allowing him to give to you. And the more that we are secure within ourselves, like masculine, healthy men love to give. They actually love to provide. But sometimes it can feel hard when we were with men who didn't love to give and they didn't love to provide. They didn't contribute at all. So we sometimes characterize that's just how men are, and that doesn't work. But healthy, masculine men of God, they like to make their woman happy. They like to provide. They like to give, even if it's not always like they have a ton of money. It's a provider mentality, and we get to openly receive. So I would also just be in the receptive mode. That doesn't mean we don't give. We definitely still give, but be open to even more receiving of compliments, little gifts here and there, even making eye contact with people, but really getting to the space where you eventually you allow your man to give to you, you receive. It's a form of trust also. A lot of times when we've been so burned or had a lot of failed relationships, it's hard for us to receive, because receiving can feel really unsafe, because we feel, do I owe you something? What if it's taken away? What if I can't do that? So we have to let that go, and we get to get more used to every day a little bit more receiving. But you're in a really powerful, really great space. So what I would say for you is just keep up what you're doing. And
Okay.
that will lead into the next thing. Yeah, that's so awesome, because what we want to do now is we want to compound just being a little bit better every day. We
Right.
don't need to make these massive changes and then crash and burn. It's just every day, can you be your best version? Today I was my best version. Tomorrow, best version, best version. It's like eventually that all adds up, it tips over, and then we just are making tons of progress. But yeah, I would say for all of you ladies, what I would be working on from today moving forward, and it's fun. Like this is your magnetism, this is your beauty. This is where some people, for example, playing the guitar is what makes them feel so alive. That doesn't do anything for me. I don't play an instrument, right? So it's like that's not my thing to do to feel at home. But for me, dressing up and shopping and certain things like that makes me feel alive. That could be the opposite. So what I would be in, and you guys can post in the group, so you also can see it and really connect. What are some of the things that make you feel so happy, so fulfilled, so alive, so joyful, so in love, so much bliss? Your job is just to create and cultivate that energy within you. And then even when you're in the relationship, creating and cultivating that energy within you. Again, you are the dolphin. The man never fully has you. Like, you are still your person. You're interdependent. He's lucky to spend time with you and to be with you. So keep that in mind, right? Like, you're the queen. Like, he's lucky he gets to take you out. He's lucky he gets to spend time with you, not because you're better than him, but because you're a beautiful, magical person. You contribute so much. They never fully have you, and you're not doing it again in the game playing kind of way of like, you'll never catch me. It's, I'm so alive and in love with my life that, okay, yes, if you want to come in, that's great, join me, but I'm not just stopping everything like we used to do in narcissistic relationships to have somebody in our life. It's a totally new energy and a new way of being, and it's beautiful. Even men, the way people look at you and treat you is so different too. But the way that your man is the one that you decide that you're gonna be with, like, just watch how much he desires you and pursues you. And I'll end with this, actually. If you feel your man is pulling back, let them. This is what a lot of us make the mistake, right? We want to give more, or we want to be more beautiful, or try harder. What's wrong? Opposite. Let them. Let them go be and do what they need to sort and get clear. When you create that space between you, which is what you guys usually had in the beginning of relationship, right? Like, you weren't always available at the drop of the hat. You might have been a little busy. That space in between allows room for them to come to you, and men like that. Again, it's not the games. It's natural. It's biology. And so in that void where you feel, okay, he's being a little bit more distant, he's being a little bit more weird, we now want to train the brain of, I'm gonna go be in my magnetism. I'm gonna be in my beauty. That's my sign. Okay, I gotta go do what I need to do, because it's actually signaling your power. There's something within you that you're not creating that magnetism and feeling at home within yourself. Men can pick up on that. They actually really smell it. Have you even noticed when you're done with a man, or you broke up and you're really done, like, they reach back out, right? Or they try to pursue you. Men have a sixth sense with our energy. They're responding to our feminine energy. It's really powerful, actually. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we are being the queen. We're taking care of ourselves. We're adorning ourselves. We know that we are the chooser. We are worthy. And if they're pulling back, it's not because you're being too clingy. It's not because you're not as beautiful to them anymore. It's because it's a signal for you to go be working on your energy. Get some space, get some let your man miss you too. I love that. I love letting my man miss me. There's nothing like that. It's so good, and it creates more fun for them too, more desire. It's just this always, this dance between the two. Life gets so much more fun. It's so much more enjoyable. But that's what I have for you ladies today. I think this is all really powerful stuff, the feminine energetics. As you'll put it into practice and start cultivating it only gets better from here. So if you want to we'll close with a little meditation. If you want to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, calling on the guidance of your higher power, thanking your higher power for allowing you to be here, asking for support constantly. Higher power, what would you have me do? What would you have me say? Being in contemplation with just loving life, experiencing love and beauty and joy and bliss, creating little magical moments throughout the day, romanticizing your life, feeling free in your life, feeling secure in your life, knowing you're worthy, you're good enough. It's going to be okay. You don't need to rush. You don't need to force. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to control. You don't need to speed things up. What I want to leave you with is just enjoy your life. The moment you need to set a boundary, you'll set a boundary. If you need to have a difficult conversation, you'll have the difficult conversation, but you don't need to prepare so much or protect yourself so much. You have the tools, you have the wisdom, you have the resources. You'll practice these principles for the rest of your life. You will deepen them, you'll sharpen them, just like with any skill that you learn. You're not a master right away. You cultivate it, you take the time. And this is the greatest skill, I believe, especially as powerful, empathetic women, we can develop, is harnessing our feminine energy and using it to our advantage. Creating the most beautiful life, becoming the best mothers, sisters, friends, wives, girlfriends. It all starts with us. So go ahead, zip up your light, zip up your energy. Allow yourself to journal. You can open your eyes. You can journal, go on a walk, write your list in the group of the things that make you feel at home and in love. Receive, respect yourself. I'm excited for you. This is a beautiful phase to really step into. So much of what it is that you've been desiring and dreaming of lives in the feminine energetics. So I'm sending you guys so much love. I really look forward to reading all of your posts of what it is that makes you feel in love and happy, fulfilled, joyful. And to see you guys put it into practice and watch so many more miracles and amazing memories and events start to fall into place. That's all about to start compounding and happening. And I'm really excited to witness that within you. So have an amazing rest of your day. I'll go ahead and post this replay soon if you want to look back at it or go through it again. But I will be seeing you all in the group. Bye.